Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and I've got yet another Power Rangers Beast Morphers toy review for you here. This is Gold Ranger Nate from Beast Morphers there. And I know I said in my previous review of Steel that I was going to be doing these Rangers one at a time, but I had a little something planned for Nate, the Gold Ranger. And I do. I'm not reviewing one figure in this video. The box is a little too tall. I am reviewing two. Yes, as you see there, I also have the Lightning Collection Nate Gold Ranger figure that I will be reviewing. I thought it would be fun. I found this figure, and I also picked up Steel, and then I saw the Lightning Collection figures, and I've been back and forth on them for a long time because they look really good, and they're high quality, and like they really are just like quality action figures. But I've mentioned before that I'm not a big action figure collector, so $20 a piece, and now they're going to be 25 thanks to the tariffs. But just I was like, I don't really know. And then it kind of popped into my head that if I was getting this figure, it would be an excellent opportunity to do a direct comparison with the Lightning Collection figure, I should say. I could have also done that with Devin, but just I think this is a great one because the gold is really shiny and pops out on both of them and everything. So yeah, I think that's a really great idea. We can compare accessories, we can compare the figures, and just talk about it sounds weird to say which of them is better because I mean, obviously the Lightning Collection figure is going to be better, but maybe like value for your money, can you be satisfied with the regular line Gold Ranger figure, or, if you want something really fancy, should you go with the Lightning Collection figure? So I think I'm going to kick this off, getting out of the way the normal stuff that I do by talking about the regular Nate figure before we move over to the Lightning Collection. So $10 Nate has the stage all to himself, and I'm going to kind of speed through this because this will be a longer video in a double figure review. And again, these figures are all kind of standard, and you're not going to see much difference there. Gold Ranger in there with the box. You see his striker saber, you see his key, you see the Morpher again, which is good and bad. It's good for them to both have the Striker Morpher. I would have preferred Steel to have the Striker Saber as well instead of a unique weapon, because you get Nate that has the Striker Saber when really they should both have them, as, it's part of them being Rangers. Anyway, over here on the side, you see the picture of Nate, which interestingly enough has this red and like purple kind of effect in the eyes and almost makes him look evil. Once again, nothing on that side. The bottom is the barcode and the etc. etc. There on the back, got the pictures. And just like with Steel, in this case, in the back, kind of silhouetted, you have Steel and you have Red Ranger in Fury mode. The pictures on the side are Devin, Drilltron, Steel, and Evox. So you can tell these are kind of part of a set, like a subwave, if you will. I just noticed, like, up on top here, it's going to be hard to get a shot of it, but it says also look for pointing up, which, I mean, I feel like I guess it's talking about these, but you would think the arrow would be pointing down then. Anyway, you see Nate posed there with the Striker Morpher and the Striker Saber, how the key goes in, and it of course says, use the Gold Ranger Morph-X key with the Beast X Morpher to imagine activating Gold Ranger powers. Let's get it open. So there is a shot of Nate out of the box with the accessories there, the Striker Saber and the Morpher. The Morpher I'm not going to bother showing you because it's the exact same one Steel had. I will show you the Striker Saber. And you see the key here, and I'm going to point this out once again, even though I'm about to show it to you with the Beast X Morpher. What is that? Like, really, I don't know. It's glaring pretty strong off the lights, but like with Steel's key, I was like, I think it might be a cat. With this, I really don't know. It's glaring pretty hard off the lights, but you can kind of see right there, there's like white marks that are supposed to be eyes along the top. I don't really, if that's supposed to convey a beetle, I don't get how, but yeah. The Striker Saber is a pretty neat weapon. Obviously, this doesn't like transform or change at all. On the show, it becomes a steering wheel for their Zords, but The blade is nicely painted gold. There's nice detailing in the plastic there. The handle, there's a little gappy space right here. I guess that would be part of it being able to transform, but inside, and you're not going to be able to see this, but inside there it says 2. There's a number 2, so I don't know. Beast X Morpher, Gold Ranger key. Gosh dang this thing and it sounds.
Gold Ranger power!
Good Zordon. That voice is terrible.
Phenomenal!
He at least says phenomenal, so they knew that would be a catchphrase, but it's too high-pitched and just like nerdy hero, you know?
Gold Ranger power!
Gold Ranger power!
Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time!
It's morphin' time! Talking about the figure just on its own really quick here, the main thing that stands out with this particular suit is just the detailing of the legs. Oh, speaking of which, his legs are still kind of bendy, not as much because they have these other things on them, but you can just see it there, bendy plastic. But just showing right here, these sculpted pieces on his legs and just the lining and the detailing there, they give the Gold Ranger just really like thick, powerful legs. He's definitely a kicking kind of fighter, which I guess fits somebody like Nate, because Nate wouldn't necessarily have the greatest upper body strength, but, you know, have some strong legs for the kicking there, and just, you know, pieces on the side. These boots just especially. But you also have these upper, like, girder-like pieces here, but just these pieces on the side, they're well detailed. I didn't show, Steel has this too, they probably all do, but little, like, shoe texturing on the bottom, and then the little, you know, copyrights and made in China and all that. And a couple of holes for a figure stand, which I desperately need to get as he collapses, because these things don't stand up very well on his own. So, you know, once again, speaking to Nate on his own, it's the exact same thing. It's a quality figure for the $10 price point. I love the paint. I love the accessory. I like the accessories. They're pretty good. I'm not super in love with them, but they do the job. The key is a little questionable, as well as the phrases that come from the Morpher, but just overall, this is a strong figure for the price point. But now, a moment that's been coming for a while now, my first review of a Lightning Collection figure. For anybody who's been under the rock that was the Morphin Grid in Dino Thunder, the Lightning Collection is an adult collector's line. Yeah, YouTube, this video is for adults, for adult collectors, not for the kids. But the Lightning Collection is an adult figure line at a higher price point. These figures have been $20 a piece. They will now be $25 a piece. And they come with just accessories and painted effects, and there's a lot more detail and everything like that. I've seen a bunch I really liked. I was actually at Power Morphicon when the Lightning Collection debuted with the White Ranger figure. You might remember me in my vlogs going nuts about the fact that there was fabric texturing on the figure, and I'm kind of already seeing, you know, like along the chest and stuff, that there's some fabric texturing there as well. I don't know what material that is, but if it's like a fabric on the outside of the plastic, I'm gonna flip, just to warn you now. So, yeah, you can see, I think, all the accessories. There might be some stuff back here, but you can see the figure, of course. It comes with an alternate hand. There's probably more hands back here. The head, which we are going to talk about, the Striker Morpher, the Striker Saber, and an effects piece that goes on the sword. So then, and you see this very nice art here. I can't remember the gentleman's name. I just saw somebody praising his artwork on this line the other day. I'll try to put it on the screen if I can find it now. But this just beautiful kind of artistically stylized picture of the Gold Ranger. Turning it to this side, you see that picture again just on the entire side there. But if you turn this way, you get like a more complete, like this is just the side profile, but it connects to this and just forms a more going around the box picture, which I think is really neat. Bottom of the box, yada yada. Top of the box is the color of the Ranger, and actually I kind of noticed that they differentiate between shades when there's two Rangers of similar colors, which is neat. On the box, just a very simple, well-posed picture of the figure, and then down below, you know, all of the advisories and the different language warnings and etc., etc., etc. This is one of those cases where I've had this sitting in the box for a while, and just being the type of figure it is with all of its accessories and everything, that was more taunting than it usually was. It's time to open this figure up. For the record, the backing card is just kind of a lightning pattern. Alright, you can see the pile of accessories there, and I'll put some in his hands in just a minute, but I just wanted to offer a look at the main figure. I had said that I wasn't sure what kind of material this is. This is a harder plastic that is just textured to look like leather, which is just amazing. It's just so good. There's definitely more points of articulation. There's a chest swivel up here, like kind of two, actually. That might be a hip swivel. I'm not down with like the hip lingo y'all kids use in your action figure reviews. Bicep swivel there, I know that much. That turns like that. You know, the hands move. You might have already noticed this best part here, his shoulder pieces and everything. That could actually like come off, which I feel is just a nice detail because it makes it feel like it's a part of the suit, you know. These up here are a little bendy. I don't think I checked that on the other one. He's sitting right here. It's the same kind of material. Dunk. Legs, the feet bend like that. The legs turn, the knees bend. Is his leg sideways? His leg was sideways. That's weird. You should have seen that there. His leg was sideways and it wasn't bending. But yeah, knee bend right there. The legs twist. Oh, you see that swivel right there. The legs twist. There you go. Again, with like any Hasbro figure I've seen, you know, it's a little stiff coming out of the box and you have to work it there. But yeah, this is very, very cool. The swivel there by the boot. Oh, the feet swivel too. That's neat. That's neat feet. It's Nate's feet. What was I talking about again? Anyway, let's put some stuff in his hands. I lied. We're going to talk about the stuff we can put in his hands. Here's his striker saber, which is very similar to the other one. And again, I'll do some comparisons. It just seems better painted. This is the button part. That silver is painted. You see that blue right there on the back. It's just kind of more gold, maybe a slightly shinier gold. Oh, and there's a little black spot right there. Comparing it to the one that comes with regular figure Nate, which is on the bottom, you see, funny enough, it's actually smaller. It might be more to scale, but other than that, it's less painted. There's a lot of silver parts on this that are just regular action figure, like flat gray. On here, they're shiny silver. Flip it over. Yeah, same kind of thing. So, you know, this is better painted and more detailed, but it's smaller, which I find very interesting. Now, this is going to be a credit to the regular figure line, because really the only difference I notice in this before comparing it directly is that the sunglass visor is painted. You know, other than that, it's the same shiny gold, it's the same black, and they got the little gold tip at the end, and it's just nicely detailed. And yeah, now yet again, the Lightning Collection accessory is actually slightly smaller. It's actually significantly smaller. I'm trying to like hold them in a way that you see that. I'm really surprised. You know, because they put a lot of finer detail into the Lightning Collection stuff, but you figured it would be bigger, so they had room to do so. And not really the case. It's interesting. I'm sure those of you who have Lightning Collection figures already will be well aware of this, but sometimes you just get them in a pose where they will stand up. So that's why Nate seems to be kind of gesturing to Zoe like, may I have this dance? But there you see I've gotten his human head placed on there, and he is holding his helmet, which is a very neat thing, I think, for this line. The head is kind of interesting because I've been saying as I've been looking at these Lightning Collection figures that as detailed and amazing as they've been, the heads have been kind of where we've seen the biggest swings and misses. With Nate's head here, as I kind of zoom in to show you finer detail, took my camera a good solid minute almost to focus in this tightly, and I actually can't zoom in anymore, which I guess is just a limitation of my hardware here, but the face is extremely photorealistic, especially zoomed in this close. It looks more real than like looking at it myself. It's just very well textured and everything. But of course, by now, all of us who watch the show know the primary complaint, and that is that for some reason they did not decide to give Nate glasses, which he wears. Even in his morphing sequence, you see his glasses stay on under his visor. You could make a standard kind of argument that, oh, morphing corrects his vision, so when he's morphed, he's not wearing his glasses. They don't form onto his head. This is the head that's under the helmet. He should have had some glasses. That my personal opinion is that he should have glasses, but I think this head looks very good. If I was collecting the Lightning Collection, these are the kind of poses that I would put the figures in, because I just love, some of my favorite shots on the show are the Rangers in the suit, but with their helmets off, holding kind of their helmets, and just that sort of dynamic is just awesome to me, and I just really appreciate it. So it's really cool to have these figures with their human heads, or non-human heads as the case may be. So just to show you, this is the effect figure. It's softer than I thought it was actually going to be. It's kind of a lightning bolt of plastic. And if, like me, you were wondering how this works, I will now tell you. You can see there's a little hole, and that is where the sword goes. You just put the sword right there, and you just kind of stick it in just a little. Like, it'll go all the way through, but you don't need it to, because the effect should be like at the end of the weapon, and then it's like, ha! Just to demonstrate real quick right here, I put on the other two hands. Nate comes with one extra set of hands, and I just kind of realized actually by where the fingers are positioned, you can tell which is supposed to be a left hand, which is supposed to be a right hand. You can see there the kind of let's rock pose that he has there. That is a left hand, and then it is a closed fist that doesn't hold anything for the right hand. So when you put these two figures together side by side, you see some real differences start to stand out. Number one, I already mentioned how on the Lightning Collection figure, this is a piece that can come off. This is molded to the figure. You also can obviously see that piece is black, whereas on the Lightning Collection figure, it is painted silver. Also on the transport module, that has a little painted GB logo over here on the Lightning figure, and it's just solid black on that side. But also just the overall sculpt. Here you have, the material laying on top and being kind of thick, while here you can see chest lines and ab lines and stuff kind of matching a general body sculpt that does still kind of make that suit seem a little bit more like spandex, where this suit feels kind of like the thicker leather material that they actually wear. It also adds a bulk to that figure that makes it a little bit thicker, while the regular collection figure seems slightly thinner. They're about the same height, which again I find kind of interesting because the accessories for the Lightning figure are smaller when I was expecting them to be larger, but that's a thing. So in the end, I've always admired the Lightning Collection very much, and I'm very happy to have this Gold Ranger Lightning Collection figure. But oddly enough, having these two figures and comparing them just kind of makes me appreciate the regular line all the more. There are some clear differences, there are some clear slight steps back, but for a figure that cost half the money, these two are very close in terms of quality of materials and just overall build of the figure. And I'm pretty impressed. I think it's pretty good both ways. You can't really go wrong. This figure is going to run you. Whoops. This figure is going to run you $10, at least until tariffs go through. It might go up a little bit after that. I haven't heard anything. And this guy over here is going to start running you $25 when those tariffs go through. It is currently $20. That's what I got it for. They're both great. They really are. Again, with the Lightning Collection figure, I mainly appreciate its ability to hold the helmet and be wearing the human head. The effect parts are pretty cool. That's all very neat, but it's not neat enough, if that makes sense. And I'm going to make my purchasing decisions on getting Lightning Collection figures based on the figures themselves and whether I want them or not. You're not going to have very many opportunities to directly compare, except... So it's very likely that Hasbro is going to keep doing this, and that, the waves are going to include a figure from the current season, as they go along. But I don't think I'll be getting those, with one exception that I will throw out here to Hasbro. If one figure purchased helps influence their decisions on show adaptation, if they go ahead and adapt Q Ranger next and they make a Lightning Collection Orange Ranger figure, I will own that. I feel like it's going to happen, so not necessarily the next adaptation, but just at some point. And when it does, I will have it, and that I'll make a video about it. So that is going to wrap this up, I think. I hope this has been a pretty good and interesting comparison video between the Beast Morphers Gold Ranger regular line action figure and the Beast Morphers Gold Ranger Lightning Collection figure. I hope you've appreciated this video and that you've liked it. So thanks so much for watching this action figure review. Make sure to like the video by clicking the thumbs up button right down below. While you're down there in the comments, let me know what you think about these figures. Do you have them? Do you like them? Did my review make you more likely to get either one of them? Let me know all of that down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to see all of my videos and ring that bell. Get your notifications set up so you'll be notified whenever I post brand new videos like action figure and toy reviews. And if you'd like to lend any financial support to my channel, because toys can get a little bit pricey, you can consider becoming one of my patrons by going to patreon.com/orangerangervideos and seeing the various tiers of support I have there and what you get back for pledging your support. If you can't do the monthly thing, head over to ko-fi.com/orangerangervideos where you can buy me a coffee. Imaginarily delicious, even if you can only hear the sound effect. Those are set at $3 a piece, and I greatly appreciate any support I find at either of those sites, as well as just liking and sharing the videos and letting people know about my channel. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you.